Thanks for joining, everyone. We'll get started in a couple of minutes. So if you have to run to the bathroom or grab a cup of coffee or anything before we start, go do that now and get yourself comfortable as we start soon. Thank you. All right, beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thanks for joining today's webinar. My name is Matt Moore, Business Development Manager here at Camaplan. We're very excited to have Matt Teifke and TR3 Capital here. Before we get started, I just want to go over our disclosure really quickly. Camaplan does not provide investment advice or endorsements due to the nature of our industry. So everything on the presentation today is meant for educational purposes only. If you are going to go and make an investment, please do your due diligence and seek out the correct and appropriate professionals before making that investment. And a quick housekeeping item, the chat will be turned off, but as you are watching the presentation and you have questions, use that Q&A function right in the Zoom platform, and I'll be watching that and we'll answer your questions as they come in. So without further ado, Mr. Matt, I'm going to turn it over to you, sir.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for making some time. Matt, thank you for the space. And
Absolutely.
uh, just to be clear, you said the questions will come in. You'll ask them, or
As the questions come in from the attendees, I'll wait for you to take a pause, take a breath, and I'll ask a question and let you know.
cool. Well, thank you everybody for your time. I appreciate everybody here. What I like to do is be interactive. So, whatever way I can give clarity or add value, I want to do that. But what I'll go ahead and do is I'll introduce myself, talk a little bit about my background and the team that I have. I'll get into the deal. I'll be able to share my screen, and please jump in if you have questions. So once again, thank you for your time, everybody. My name is Matthew Teifke. I am from Austin, Texas, and my company is called TR3. It's me and two of my partners, Alex and Robert, and we've all worked together since we were little kids. And in my opinion, that's a big deal. Like, we've been working together. My mom is their mom kind of situation. And that goes a long way when you're investing in deals because the team's obviously important. I started when I was 18. I'm 34 years old, married with two kids, and real estate is all I have ever done. I started as a residential agent, and I always knew that I wanted to invest, but my goal was to learn as much as I possibly could about the industry, really be a student of the game, and then figure out how to own properties. So I started buying houses, and over time duplexes, fourplexes, and then just kind of got bigger and bigger on each deal until where we're at today. We're buying some pretty big apartment complexes, but we were very patient at TR3. We didn't buy when a lot of people were buying four caps and three caps. But our markets are Austin and San Antonio. And what we have done is we found motivated sellers that bought at the wrong time. They bought good properties, but there's bad debt. And what I mean by that is with their portfolios, their balloon payments are here. You know, they have these 5-year balloon payments on most of these multifamily deals. And they got to either pay it off or they got to extend it. But the problem is they paid a high price because they were buying them in 2020, 2021 when it was extremely competitive. So the deal that I have today is called Indigo. It's in San Antonio, Texas. And I'll go ahead and share my screen here if you can. Let me know if you can see this. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep, we can see your screen.
Perfect. Okay, so this is a 396 unit apartment complex called the Indigo. It is just north of Castle Hills. If you guys are familiar, that's a pretty high-end neighborhood in San Antonio. There's six, $700,000 houses. So we have 396 units. It's a 1980s build. As you can see in these pictures, it's nice. It's Class B. It has all the amenities. It's got three swimming pools. It's got a clubhouse, tennis courts, areas for people to grill. But we're very excited. This is the nicest property that we've ever bought with at TR3. And the exciting thing here that I'll get into, I'm kind of going through these kind of quick so you can see these pictures. But the beautiful thing that we're doing here is we're taking over existing debt. So to give a quick backstory, the owner has 2,000 doors in Austin and San Antonio, and they're in a pretty distressed situation. This property is one of their better ones as far as the debt goes, but what they're trying to do is trying to sell this to sustain the rest of their portfolio. So this owner bought this property for $44 million. We are acquiring it for 39 million. I'm gonna go back to the first slide. But if you can write this down, or I'm just gonna give a couple bullet points. But they bought it for 44 million. We're buying it for 39 million, so they're taking a loss. They also put about 1.5 million into the property. And the reason they're selling once again is they're trying to sustain the rest of their portfolio, but their debt is 36 and a half. We're buying it for 39, debt's 36 and a half. The beautiful thing about this property is not only the location and the good condition, but we're taking over existing debt, which is at 4.32% interest fixed for 6 years. So 432 fixed for 6 years. We're buying this right under a 7 cap, 396 units, 1980s build. And the beautiful thing is this property is going to cash flow immediately. So if you were to invest with us, for example, if you do 100,000, our projections are 7 to 9% cash on cash return. So we'll start paying you out every month. Anticipated 7 to 9,000 for that first year. But because we're buying at such a discount, we believe that we're going to hit a 4x multiple on the money that you invest. So if you invest 100,000, you 4x that. We have a 10-year plan on this property, but really what we plan to do is we'll sell it when people start buying, 4 caps and 5 caps again. But we're buying it with really, really good debt. It cash flows immediately. This will be our second large complex in San Antonio. We use a company called Capstone to manage it. And so it's very aligned with what we're trying to do. Here's some basic numbers, which I've already talked about. $39 million purchase price. The down payment is 3.3 million. We are raising $7 million, and we have about 1.5 million left to raise on this property. So we're excited to have you guys, look at this or just get to know our team. San Antonio, a lot of people don't know this, but is the seventh largest city in the United States. Here we have some facts here, but it's a growing market. It's affordable. We're buying for $98,000 a door, and we're getting $1,100 rents. So, in my opinion, when you look at other markets, it's hard to beat that. We don't have the insurance premiums that you get in California and Florida. We're in a growing market. We're at a really good price. We're in a great location, and this is exactly the type of deal that our company TR3 looks to acquire. Our market is Central Texas, so Austin and San Antonio, and then me and my two partners, we all live within an hour and a half of this property. Capstone is managing our other property, which is called TR3 Loma Vista, and we closed on that 2 months ago, and we're getting better rents than we anticipated, up by $100. We're getting higher rents without even increasing the rent. So our business plan here is immediately. We're going to be cash flowing, so we're not going in and trying to say, let's go put $2 million into this and flip it in 2 to 3 years. We're just trying to sustain it for what it is. We're going to increase the rents as we can. We're very conservative. We believe that if we increase it $300 over 10 years, we'll hit these numbers that we projected to you guys. So we're not getting crazy with that. And we'll just do the turns as the tenants and the units become available. Right now, it's 91% leased. So we're just taking over a really good property with good debt. But back to the bad debt. The bad debt is the rest of the owner's properties. So he's taking a loss on this, but on some of his other deals where he has floating debt, he's taking a 7 to 10 to $15 million loss. Where on this one, he's taking a $6 million loss. So that's the backstory of it. I try to be pretty efficient with the pitch. I think I covered it all. Um, I'll kind of go through some of the pictures again, but open door, guys. If you have questions, opinions, thoughts, would love to go over them in as much detail. We can do individual webinars as well. But it's a beautiful property in a growing market, and we're getting really good debt. So I appreciate everybody. That's kind of my general overview. Happy to dive into whatever you guys want to ask or whatever you guys think. And once again, I appreciate everybody's time.
I had a quick question. You said that that the seller is getting rid of this property to maintain the rest of his portfolio. Um, did you, why this property specifically? Is there anything about this property that, you know, is less desirable, or why is he getting rid of this one versus not getting rid of the others?
Well, he is. So we bought one of his others. We're hopefully going to continue to buy more of them. In my opinion, he's going to lose all of them,
Okay.
but he's trying not to. And so this property, it has good debt, so he doesn't have to sell it as much of a loss as the other ones, right? Because we can take over that debt and we're buying it. He is taking a loss, but on his other ones where it's adjustable rate and you come in for 7.5 or 7.25 debt, whatever you may be getting, you're gonna have to pay much lower price. This property works even at new debt rates. We've run that. We'd have to raise a little more capital, but his other properties have just a bigger discount that he has to sell them at. But we're actually in a very good position with this seller, and it's a bigger story of he likes us and he wants to work with us. He knows that we can close. He plans to continue to sell us his additional properties, and they're all in Austin and San Antonio, which is like our dream portfolio to acquire.
Awesome. And actually, to that end, can you talk about a little bit about the previous property that you purchased from this seller? What did you sort of evaluate about how well it was maintained, or the state of that property, and how did it reinforce your confidence in making future purchases like this one right now?
Yeah, so we own TR3 Loma Vista. We're buying a property called Mission at Medical from this owner, and then Indigo, and then he's got another one in Austin. So we only have about 1.5 million to raise on this one. I think we'll get it relatively quick.
Hmm.
But doors open. But then we're gonna have social next. But he was a tech guy who sold this company for a lot of money and then got very aggressive, and he just bought at the wrong time. So there's no issues with how he's operating them with the properties. We'll have much more hands-on. Like, he doesn't have great reviews, and we look at that as an opportunity. He doesn't have any positive ones, only negatives, which to me says he's not really even trying to get reviews. But they're reviews that we read and we understand what we're getting into. We tour every single unit with contractors, with the management company, so we don't get into anything that we're unaware of. But he wasn't a guy that like was planning to sell these, and so he didn't go put a
Mm.
ton of money into them.
Hmm.
He just acquired them and like put capital where he, and so there's little deferred here, but nothing crazy. When we do find that, we go for like 500, $1 million pricing decreases, which we got on our last one. We started at 16 and a half, and then we ended up closing at right under 16. So we negotiate hard, but we know the owner, we know the type of properties he has, and the other key is Capstone, our management company. This is the exact type of property they manage, which is not A class, it's B class, it's working class environment, affordable rents, and in San Antonio, like a whole lot of Hispanic tenants at our properties. And so we get to know them and fit in with like what they value at the property, and that goes a long way. We care and we want to know the people that live at our properties and do a great job because we plan to own these for 10 years.
Awesome. Appreciate all that. We did have a couple questions come in, so I'll send those your way. But just so you know, Matt, it looks like your internet network is a little bit low right now, so I might have to ask you to clarify some things in case it gets choppy. But
Okay.
Aisha asked, what's the planned hold period?
7 to 10 years is the idea. But we plan to sell whenever people are buying crazy prices again, really.
All
But
right,
it's a long-term mindset with it.
perfect. And then question from Jim, are you assuming a 6-year term loan or is it less than 6 years?
It's a 6-year fixed interest term.
And so if it's a 10-year hold, after that 6 years is finished, you'll refinance into a new term loan, and you've already done the calculus for that new loan. Is that correct? Oh, so Matt is frozen for me, unfortunately. We'll give him a couple of minutes to see if he unfreezes. All right, looks like he's going to try to get back on.
Hey man, am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
I
Welcome back.
I'm on hotspot and I clicked it to try to make it go better, but I'm still here, everybody.
Awesome. Um, so yeah, you answered that last question about a 6-year term loan, and I had just followed up and said, just to clarify, after if it's a 10-year hold for the property, before you exit it, you would refinance after the 6-year term is done, right?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Great. All right, those were all our questions from the participants. If you have anything else, please don't hesitate to ask right now. Otherwise, you'll get a recording of this webinar and you'll be able to uh, ask Matt any other follow-up questions you want. I can tell you personally, he's extraordinarily accessible. So if you have anything that you want to know about this deal, he is happy to pick up the phone and talk to you about it. So, Matt, really appreciate your time today. And for everyone who joined the webinar, oh, we had one more question. Sorry. How much cash will be set aside for deferred maintenance and for capital repairs?
We're gonna have two. So the 3.5 is the equity required. So we'll have about that much, a little bit more, an additional because it's a $7 million raise. So there's going to be plenty of capital. It's going to be 3 million plus. That's set aside. Great question. And if anybody wants to, come look at it and meet us, we're more than happy to show it to you. It's sitting there right now. It's a beautiful property. Like I said, great location. And we're very open book. And like Matt said, whether you invest in this deal or I can just be a resource, I want to try to do that.
Awesome. And what's the best way to reach you, Matt?
I would say just call me or text me. Excuse me, my cell phone number, if you guys can write this down, is 512 512-914-4806. 512-914-4806. And I'm on a 4-hour road trip, so anybody can call me right after this if you want.
All right, I'm gonna send this to the group. All right. So again, thanks for everyone who joined today. I really appreciate your time. And like I said, I can't emphasize enough how available Matt will make himself to you if you have any questions about this property or just about TR3 in general. So thanks very much again, Matt. And to everyone who joined today, we'll see you next week on the next one.
Have a great day, guys. Thanks, Matt.
Bye bye.